Well, Daventry is very much the jewel in our crown. It's been around since 72, production went into 73, but it's very much a leading facility in our mining operations. They make everything from the 38 litre through to the 78 litre, so a big chunk of our mining range comes from there. Also, a lot of efficiencies have been gathered at the Daventry facility, and I don't know how they've done it, but they've been able to squeeze more products into the facility and at the same time make it more spacious, which is excellent from a health and safety perspective as well. We've also got a lot of off-site warehouse improvements that we're making in Daventry, and we're committed to that facility and the mining business. Since we started production in the 70s with the KV range, as we moved into the 90s, we also added the QSKV range. So the likes of the QSK 45, 60 and 78 also come from the Daventry facility. And we've built upon those with Tier 2 and now with the Tier 4 versions of those products all coming from that site. Over those past 48 years, we've made about 30,000 mining engines now from Daventry. Well, the challenge with each emissions hurdle is that the initial prospect is some consideration of trade-offs with limitations of the engines perhaps. But as we've gone into Tier 4 final and Stage 5, the addition of SCR has allowed us to do a lot more with the engine. The engine can, the engine can be itself, and that's allowed us to make it easy to service. It's a common footprint with our Tier 2 engines, but it also allows us to add increased performance, increased fuel efficiency, as well as those service improvements. So we've been able to enhance the product for Tier 4, and we think customers will value that greatly at this next stage of the emission cycle. For the vast majority of customers, the Tier 4 regs came in around about 2018, 2019. North America technically was before then, but we saw the vast majority of the customers using the TPEM rule. And that's synced fairly nicely with the Stage 5 coming in 2019 for Europe. We've generally been ready with most of our product line to meet those targets. I think there's one outstanding engine that we're just finishing now, which is the QSK 38, but pretty much every engine is in full production now, and we're working with customers to help install those engines and start to get them out there. Vast majority of units are already hitting the ground in North America and are proving to be very successful and delivering huge benefits in TCO and uptime and availability for those customers. The primary requirement for mining is uptime and availability, but then it's a very close second for cost of production. At Cummins, we've made a lot of investments in our service network. We own vast swathes of our network. We're committed to excellent distribution around the world. As a small example, we've got approximately 4,000 service technicians. We've got over 1,000 swing engines on standby, ready to go for most applications and locations. And we've got 24 rebuild centres as well, delivering excellent recondition value to our customers. And that's in addition to the normal distribution network. So we feel we're best placed to keep our customers running with excellent and high availability, but also partnering with those customers as well to ensure they get maximum efficiency and performance, and also helping them with their sustainability goals looking forward.
So in Cummins' point of view, not only can they go hand in hand in mining, they absolutely must. The miners themselves are being pressed in between two really, really strong forces. The first force is, of course, the social license and sustainability initiatives that the communities in which they operate are really pushing them very aggressively towards more green operations. So that's one of those really strong forces. And then the second force, is coming from the investing community, the companies and the investors that are deeply committed into these mining operations. They are expecting a return. And so the industry is really trying to figure out how to make them go hand in hand. But our belief is that absolutely, yes, can sustainability and profitability go hand in hand, but they absolutely must. So a huge part of optimizing the cost of production is properly managing machine downtime for maintenance and repair events. Unplanned downtime or surprise downtime, it gets really expensive really fast. And so real-time data gives operators, gives mine managers, fleet managers, and service providers insights into machine performance that enables a proactive approach. That proactive approach to maintaining and repairing these machines is based on real-time data, not necessarily the feel of the machine, the hour meter, or calculating on fuel burn. And so this real data really allows some interesting doors to get opened, potentially extending maintenance intervals based on actual useful life of the machine, estimated through these analytics and algorithms. And extending maintenance intervals certainly has a significant impact on operating cost. The key word in all of this is analytics. The existence of data is nothing new. The existence of the J1939 or other types of machine monitoring systems, that's really nothing new. But the analytics behind it, the interpretation of this data with really complicated algorithms and predictive tools is the differentiator. Cummins has invested very heavily in a product called PreventTech. PreventTech is on the leading edge of understanding engine data and interpreting that data into actionable insights needed for fleet managers and service providers to keep machines working. Really, the goal is the least amount of unplanned downtime. And the ultimate goal is to improve that mine site cost of production metric. I love this question because it really helps tell the story that and the journey that Cummins has been on for the last couple of decades. The company has been deliberately changing itself from an engine company to a technology company, and then onward. Really, our vision is energy to work. And in mining specifically, Cummins is pretty relevant today. We've got really good relationships with OEMs and mining partners. My job and the job of Cummins is to make sure that we're still relevant in mining in 2050, 2060 and beyond. In order to keep that relevance, we have to embrace social influences, regulatory influences. We need to make sure that we're meeting these requirements. Greenhouse gas reduction, heck, even noise and other types of component recycling plans that we're really deep into. So thinking outside of the box when it comes to new power solutions really gets to the core of our company, even to the point where we have a corporate sustainability plan. It's public. It's called Planet 2050, aimed at reducing our environmental footprint, just like the mining industry is doing. So we're, in addition to being partners with the miners and the OEMs, we're really trying to walk the talk as a company as well. We're investing very heavily in green technologies for usable power for customers, as well as our own manufacturing processes. We're transforming ourselves really from a legacy diesel engine company to an energy to work company. Cummins is embracing solar, hydro, electric. I think you've seen some very public announcements of Cummins investments in high energy batteries, high power batteries, solid oxide fuel cells, PEM fuel cells, electrolyzers. We are embracing this transition, and we're going to be on the leading edge when it comes time to bring these things to market. The good thing is, what gives me what gives me hope is that our work is really aligned with the industry. We've got some fantastic OEM partners who are faced with the same industry challenges for sustainability. So it's key that Cummins stay aligned with both minor requirements and OEM requirements for these new power solutions.